Boy, oh boy, it's been nothing but trouble on the Nantahala and Tuckasegee as of late. A lot of downed engines, rating it in that great. It's probably in the lower 50 percentile area. Anyway, we got a daily double going on here because a lot of our road engines are still dead. I had to order some new parts, which you got to get via your company's box cars. I got a couple that need overhauling, etc. So we busted out the big guns, the old Santa Fe, which is pulling this train now from Silva. It's actually 2 or 3 days worth of interchange cars, and it's due to stop off here in Whittier. It's got a lot of stuff. We just reopened up the sawmill. We'll go over that in just a minute. But we got a hot box just coming through Thomas Valley, and this is actually the first time that I've experienced it personally. So I'm trying to just get this thing up to kind of a safe area just off the main line. I do have a passenger train behind us to kind of try and get down and fix this thing. We'll probably go on and check the rest of the train as well, but it's a bit interesting because I thought when you received cars from the interchange, which this Kogan came from, they never had anything below like 75% oil and condition or something like that. So it's interesting that this thing just bam, you know, out of the blue right there at the head of the engine. Anyway, let's go ahead and stop this sucker, and we'll probably walk the train real quick and grease everything up. Let me go ahead and throw it on manual, and we'll just throw the independent down, slow us down a little bit, and take a little reduction. We'll go ahead and hop off here. Yeah, I got the big girl, so she ain't gonna make it past Bryson with this train, but luckily I have a Connie, a 280 sitting in Bryson that can be used as a helper that's kind of stationed in Bryson. And then once this train gets on down to Nantahala, I've got the pushers down there that'll probably need to tack on and complete the rest of the run with this train. Let's go ahead and check these bad boys. So those are still 94%. Those are pretty high. So this thing is done, dude. Crispy critter. All right, so it's 27%. So what else is interesting about this? I had it in AI because I was trying to set some other stuff up because my railroad's been in just a huge delay over the last couple day playthroughs trying to get things in order. So I had this thing in AI doing other stuff, and all of a sudden it said hot box, and I was like, oh crap, and it'll actually stop and keep you from going 15 mile an hour via AI. So let's go ahead and get that thing squirted up. There we go. Now, the fire kind of went away. It's still going to smoke a little while, I would imagine. Still says hot box. Let's check that one. Still good. May take a minute. That one says as well. Maybe it takes a moment for them to kind of cool down. Good Lord, man. These are jacked up, too. Now, I'm kind of worried because I feel like now, even though they're oiled, they may need to get overhauled, which is not good. So this is really weird. Some of these are really nice and some of them are not. So like these are a hundo. That's 39, and we're gonna run out of oil at this point. Next the devs will add oil that you have to buy, or grease. And then you'll really be into it. Let's see, so those are 61, so it seems pretty darn random. Now I probably should have done this before the train actually left Dillsboro. I did not. I thought I'd have some time, so it'd probably be a good idea, just like they may in real life. Go ahead and walk your train and check things out, because this is quite interesting. So I'm going to go through and check the rest of the train and save you the dismay visually, and we'll get to the end and see what all's needed here. All right, we are just about to the end of this 42 car, 1,500 ton, almost 2,000 foot long train. And I'd say about every fourth car, oh man, these are really bad too. Under 25%. So I'd say about every fourth or fifth car was not very good. So you definitely got to keep an eye on these things. I got a whole host of cars sitting down at Andrews at that interchange that I got to take a look at as well. This one's low too, 27. So this is very interesting. I'm kind of curious as to why they would be in such poor shape all of a sudden, especially since I had the train set in AI. Now, granted, before it left Dillsboro, it did not sit for too long after I made the train up in the yard down there doing some switching. But it sat for a little while, so maybe the crew, did some before I said, all right, board's green, hit it. And, they had to get on and fire that puppy up. But here's the last car. But yeah, man, when it rains, it pours on the NTRR. This is a chunk train. I got to get a lot of stuff done in this working day, trying to play catch up. Let's go take a look at what's going on with some of our engines that should be pulling this train and not making this catastrophe a catastrophe. So we're down in Andrews, and again, this is about the third day where I've not had my road power, which kind of sucks. Even my switchers are pretty much dead after that big catastrophe from like 2 videos ago from these things having to make the full run. So these, oof, that's 18%. The other one back there is probably like 20. Nope, it's actually 16. And then the F7s, that's 44%. They're almost runnable. They wouldn't do too well, braking and fuel-wise and all that. See, the one in the middle here is 27%, and the old Jeep here is 22. So yeah, these things are still crapped out, very much so, which stinks because work is just piling and piling up. Very much so. Let's throw that switch back there. But yeah, part of it's my own fault because I did not order boxcars for Andrews. I thought there would have been enough manpower and parts to go ahead and fix these two, but when your engines get to a certain level, you actually have to overhaul them and they require more work. And the way it works now, which I didn't even realize until probably 2 days ago, is it doesn't have anything to do in your repair area. So like the Dillsboro engine service here, let's go ahead and click Andrews just to be precise where we're at. So currently I have it at 5 times 250 day car, which means that's the speed in which your locomotives will be repaired now, granted you have the parts to repair or overhaul your locomotive. So all these things have been in process for like 3 or 4 days now, and they're not really going anywhere because I do not have parts, because I forgot to order a new, couple of box cars and put in here. So they will work faster once they got parts. You just got to order those dang parts in the first place. So we'll go over that here in just a second in case some of y'all aren't aware of that yet, because I'm still very much new to that myself. But once we get parts in here, these things ought to be tip-top and spit shined very quick. But yeah, you no longer hire crew inside, your little engine service or engine repair tab. So you used to hire 1, 2, 3, 4 crew, whatever. I don't know how high it went, maybe up to 8, probably more. Now it's just up to the repair speed, and you can kind of keep them there or, lay them off if need be. I don't know if you got to wait till the next day type of deal after a next interchange is served before they show up, if you do lay them off again. But anywho, we got to get some of the boxcars ordered for Andrews, because nothing at Andrews is moving right now, which is a big problem. Now this is down here at my Andrews interchange or yard down at the end of the line, and I got a lot of stuff going to the coal mine. That's a big money maker. A couple of Nantahalas, some stuff going to Whittier, Silva, of course, Snowbird. I've got a lot of Snowbird stuff that I've been backed up with, and a whole host of other stuff. There's basically not much room for anything else to come on the next interchange serve, save for maybe like 6 to 10 cars if it'll squeeze them on here. So this has got to be corrected immediately. But what I need to do right now is go ahead and throw some of those box cars, so when you need to repair your rail cars, you got to do it for coaches, locomotives, whatever you may own for your railroad. So for the purposes of this and the quickness, because I really can't wait another day, I've currently got it in sandbox mode. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Shift T. We'll bring that down. You can see I might have added the Santa Fe there. Yeah, I was desperate. All my engines are dead. What was I to do? Let's see. So let's go ahead and get some freight cars. We'll get a couple of box cars. We'll do like a 50-foot steel and a 41-foot steel. And we'll go ahead and place them down right here. And you need box cars to do this. So we'll go ahead and click on that. So they're basically on the track where they need to be served, the interchange. So it says they're mine, NTRR. There you go, as you can see on the tag. So we're going to go ahead and click this bad boy. We'll bring this over here. And I was having a bit of an issue with this. So it's to get it set up to where they go out and get parts and then come back to you, go to equipment and leave this blank for now. Leave repair destination blank. I went in and did this first and it kind of messed it up to where it wouldn't tag it right. So first go to operations and then load. Let's see, buy repair parts via Andrews Interchange. So there we go, boom. So that should be there. Now it says status incomplete. When I bring the tab up, it'll show the tab. It's actually sitting in the interchange to be done to go in there, which is good. The point I was trying to make earlier is if you go into equipment and set the repair destination first, it may not work quite right, which is kind of weird. As you can see, I went ahead and set that, and now it's saying Andrew's repair track. And I'm like, okay, why is that not working? So just leave that empty until you get your parts in there. So it's going to go out, it's going to come back the next day, it's going to be full of parts, and then have it set to your repair destination, which of course these are going to Andrews. So we'll go ahead and do it with the secondary one as well. Now I know that you can just click this, hit operations, hit the little copy over deal, and sometimes that will work and it'll actually copy over, but other times it doesn't. It happened to me with some logging stuff as well. So most of the time, if it's a couple of cars, you know, I'll just go in and, you know, do it manually. So let's go ahead and click that again, operations. So the unloads are going to go to, let's see, repair parts, Andrews repair track. So there we go. So we'll go ahead and copy to that one that's next to it. We'll click on that, make sure it's good. Unload repair at Andrews, buy repair via Andrews Interchange. So that's set up. Until I get these suckers back, all those engines in the shed over there are dunzo magunzo. Let's go over and check out Snowbird Paper real quick. So, like in most areas, I'm slacking in this area as well. These all need to go up to Graham County Pulpwood, get some fresh wood. A lot of these need to be switched out over here. I got a couple of cars sitting there. All of these are needing to go to appropriate interchanges, and these haven't been served in probably 3 in-game days now. So it's getting to the point to where these companies are going to start getting angry with you, and if you're worried about your rating, it may drop a bit. Then you're going to lose your reputation. Costs of things will go down a little bit, so on and so forth. It's just overall not good. So I have got to do something about this. Lo and behold, if I need to, when the passenger train gets here with the 280, I might use it to switch some things up here, because I got to clear that interchange yard out as well. Otherwise, that might mess up my repair box cars. So let's go back and check out the Fay, the 210-2, and see what's going on with that. We got to drop some cars off for the new sawmill that I reopened, because I kind of discovered a place I didn't even really realize existed. And that place is the Walker Logging Branch. Now, it's not new, guys. It's not a mod. I know, it's been here. I'm just a bit of an idiot, and I never really messed with the sawmill all that much. I just kind of stuck to pulp for the paper mills. But I was like, man, I need to spice it up, do some extra things, you know, just make it fresh, put some pepper on it, if you will, just spice it up a little bit. So I came out here and took a look at this place, and this is cool as hell. This little branch logging line back in here is probably some of the coolest stretch of road in the game right now, as far as I'm concerned. There's some really cool places, do not get me wrong. I love the Alarka area and the Robinson Coal Mine and all that good stuff. But, man, I started kind of peeping around here, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Let's get the sawmill up and going. So that's exactly what I did. Here's the sawmill sitting here. So I went ahead and bought some of these skeleton cars. I think I got 12 of them in total. You can fill out quite a few of these per day, and there's actually 2 or 3 areas over here on Walker. So this is what's called the lower, I think, where I currently have these sat. And then there's the upper, which kind of seems backwards. I feel like this should be the lower and the other one upper, but either way, what do I know? So yeah, and it's some crazy switchback stuff, and it's very scenic back here. Not to mention, when you're coming off the river, coming across the bridge over here on the east side of Bryson, that's a 3% grade climbing up the side of this little mountain on the other side of the river. So that was interesting as well. I actually had to go back and get a 280 because my little Moog wasn't cutting it, even with just some empty skeleton cars. So I got these things filling up. Reason I'm talking about it is because I just got my contract for the Whittier sawmill. Let's pop that open real quick. Where's it at? Sawmill. So yeah, I had this. This is all I did when I started the game. You know, what feels like years and years and decades ago now. But I actually only have like 55 in-game days, I think, as far as like my save is concerned for the game. So I quickly stopped after I made enough money to buy and expand and things like that. So I just went ahead and went boom up to tier 3, and I got quite a few cars at both interchanges. So they are going to need this wood here soon. So we'll probably try and tackle that today as well, and maybe drop some more empties off at one of the other spots. All right, so we're back at the number 20, the Fae, and we got a lot of work to do today, so we got to do something with its cards. That axle's pretty much dead, so we got to cut it off, and it's going to have to sit down there at Whittier and get repaired, which definitely does throw some wrench in my grand laid plans to try and get this road back in good standing. But I was looking at this car, and it says miles on road 11, repair estimate 6 minutes. Now, I don't think I've got anything set at Whittier to repair, so let's go ahead and get this thing set down there. So what you're going to have to do is, you don't want to reach hot box status. That's why you want to oil, right? But once you do, you're going to have to keep it under a certain speed and keep it oiled, greased, lubed up, or you're just going to further damage the thing and run into a lot more issues. So let's get this bad boy down to Whittier. We're going to have to cut it off and I guess get it up in the engine shed or repair track and see what happens. All right, we are moving. We're going to keep an eye on this thing until we get to Whittier. So it says it's 100% oil, right? Which you want to keep it above 50 at the very least. But it says keep it under 15 mile an hour or it could damage further, or the damage could increase. So let's go ahead and pull back on the bar, crack the throttle open some more, and get going pretty quick. As you can see, we got some fire going. So it picked back up, which is interesting. Let's follow the car, have a peek here. Yeah, that sumbitch is very, very spicy. That's actually kind of neat. It's the first time I've experienced it, and a bit shocking that it's right on the head of the engine here. But it still says 100% oil, so let's look at damage, because you can't see the damage unless you get in here. Now, it still says 98%. That's not that bad. So it's interesting that the... Oh, wow, it just dropped way down. Okay, yep. Okay, so do heed... do heed the speed. Yeah, it needs to be a bumper sticker or something for me. Do heed the speed, because it just went from 98% to 92. It's probably going to go down a lot farther. So we're going to slow this puppy down until it gets to Whittier. I got to shuffle some cars around in Whittier. Anywho, the further this thing is damaged, the longer it's going to take to repair. So let's get down to Whittier, let this thing run on down to us, and see what we got to get set up in Whittier to try and get this thing repaired. But Robinson Coal Mine isn't probably going to be too happy. They're going to be missing a gondola to fill with them black diamonds. All right, I can hear that train coming up behind us here. This is the Whittier Yard or interchange. There's my little mogul sitting over there. And these cars basically got to go with the train that's behind us coming around the bend. These Andrews ones, anyway, are going with that train. And then the rest are going to actually be going back the other direction. But I haven't really messed with Whittier in a very long time now that I think about it. So let's try and figure this out real quick. So locations. Is this considered East Whittier or Whittier? I don't ever remember. So it's East Whittier. East Whittier engine service. We'll do 5 times. Now I don't know if this is gonna work that well. As you can see in a thing right here, it tells you how much repair parts you have. So we currently have 25 ton. I think that's just kind of like a base or vanilla. It's like, hey, this is what you get in a pinch type of deal. Other than that, you're definitely going to need to get some boxcars filled. So let's see where the repair track is. It's that one over yonder. So basically 2 in the shed there. I thought there'd be another one, but I reckon not. So I am going to have to pull that bad boy off. You can actually see the train sitting around the bend down there. We'll throw that in the shed here. But first, let's go ahead and shuffle some of these cars out of the way, because I'm going to have to pull this train into the yard here. So let's get on our little Mogi boy right quick. All right, he just stopped. We'll click on that. Orders. It is in Manuel. All right, what do we got to do? So let's move the... We'll move the Andrews over on that top track over there. Right there. And then... we'll put everything else where this is sitting, so the inbound can come through right there. So let's go ahead and pull this bad boy back a little. And we'll just hop on the back of here and ride it to the switch. I love this little mogul, man. I don't know what it is. It's like, you know, You start playing the game, you know, you want to increase your company, your railroads, your self-worth within the game itself. And then you get to all these big engines and everything's kind of easy all of a sudden. Kind of might start getting a little boring. I know there's a ton of you Burke heads out there, and that's totally fine. I still feel really weird about a Burke. I mean, the Santa Fe, I don't have much room to talk, but... I needed one locomotive that could probably get it done, and that's where we're at today. So that's what's going on with that. But wait a second, what am I doing here? What are I doing? Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. There we go. We'll throw that. I guess I could have left these there. There we go. All right, let's get the Andrews cars, put them on the outer track, or the inner track, actually, technically speaking. And then we'll leave room to come through there with the train. We'll cut off that gondola that needs repair. Hopefully they can get that done fairly quick. We shall see. But I've got a whole lot of stuff to do today. Got to start getting cracking on the sawmill as well. Because, you know, I don't know if it's still like it now in the game, but it used to be like 1 day. You had 1 working day, I think. Might have been 2, and then if you didn't turn something out for them, then they'd get very angry. But now I think you've got a little bit more freedom, where it's like 3-4 days maybe before it starts reporting negatively on your railroad. I'll go ahead and slow down a little bit here. There it is. Throw the reverser backwards. Full Indy. We don't need to tie that on. We will cut this car down here because I'm going to leave it sitting here. Handbrake is aplicado. There we go. All right, so we're going to shove these over here. Hopefully they will fit. But yeah, we got to get that sawmill cracking. So I've got 12 cars. Should be totally full in the next couple of in-game hours here. I didn't even notice if they were. They looked like they were about 2/3 full. So 2 logs per car instead of 3. And then we got a lot of, you know, switching that we got to do here at the sawmill as well to get them started. I went past that switch a little too far. And what we'll do with these is try and just kick these. So how many of these do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That might just fit. That might just fit. We're going to try and kick them, though, so we can do 1 less move here. So we'll go ahead and full forward on the reverser. Alright, you can see the switch stand is against. We'll get up to about 8 mile an hour. Cut it. Independent. Let them things roll on. Keep our train moving a little bit here. Just enough. Yeah, they might just fit. I don't know how many cars will fit on that. I probably need to get on top of that with the handbrake. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and apply that handbrake there. Oh, release. Nope, too slow. Too slow. Alright, we got to slow the train down. Go ahead and throw that switch. Wow, that slowed down a lot. Those things must be empty. Alright, now we got to throttle back up. Go ahead and throw the handbrake for reals. There we go. Gravy. Alright, we'll come on down here and we'll hook up to this car here. And then the train that'll be going back to Dillsboro or Silva later, who the hell knows when that'll be, we'll obviously pick these up. And I just figured out today that I've got a lot of cars, outstanding way bills essentially, that are sitting all over the damn map. And I did not even realize it until this morning when I started playing. So that's a problem as well. I got a couple sitting down past Barker's Creek, I think, like right here. I need that mod. There's a mod that shows cars on the tracks, which would be most helpful. It'd be nice if it would be just vanilla. Because if I'm honest, there's a lot of cool mods out there, but when you start modding, it's a lot to keep track of. If there's a game update, mods need updating, installers need updating. It's just all this crap that I'd rather not deal with. So I'd rather just be able to see the cars on the map. But then again, that's not prototypical or realistic, essentially. So what are you going to do? But I guess I'll just bitch about it and live with it as per usual. So let's go down here. Let's remove the... Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, let's go ahead. Nope, shut up. Nope, quit whistling. Don't do that. No, wrong way. Wrong way. There we go. All right, let's try and keep this subbitch under 15 mile an hour. We don't want to further damage this thing. It's still at 92%. So we were doing like almost 30 mile an hour, and it was taking chunks out of the health of the thing. So we'll get in there just enough to where I don't have to back up too far. And then we'll just cut that car off as needed and go stick it in the shed down yonder. Oh dear, I think I just made a poo-poo. I just made a big old stinky poo-poo. Okay, yep, that's a negative. Always be checking your switches. Let's make an acronym out of that. A, B, C, Y, S. Abkis. Yeah, anyway, always check your switches, guys. I am a living proof of idiocy on that. So we got to move this sumbitch all the way back down. Alright, the switch done be throned. I'll go ahead and throttle on back. Cut this car off in just a second here. How's that Hurtberks looking? Let me see the Hurtberks. So it's 99% oil. So oil isn't depleting too much. It's interesting though how, you know, once you kind of build up some speed and get some air and that friction, that fire will light back up again. It's pretty interesting. Alright, we'll do it like that. We'll go ahead and get on here like that. We'll do that. We'll throw the handbrake on that. We'll pop that bad boy up and we'll throttle up. Hopefully that train will slow down quite a bit. That would be not very awesome if it didn't. So we'll go ahead and apply a couple. You know what? Screw that. Let's go piss some air. There we go. Okay. Woo! Yeah, that could have been pretty bad. So we'll go ahead and get down here, get back on the car, hopping like a kangaroo. Man, that thing is on fire. 91%, so it's still going down. Now we're going almost 20 miles an hour. It specifically says in the patch notes, stay under 15 if you've got issues. We'll get just far enough here. I don't know if you guys are hearing that crack of lightning and thunder out my window. It's that time of year here in Florida. Hopefully I do not lose power. Alright, we'll go ahead and throw that switch. We'll try and kick this this little sucker back in there as well. I guess either track, it don't matter, so we'll go ahead and throw it in the first. Let's go ahead and set it up. So control click this puppy. Operations. Nope, that's not right. Equipment repair destination. East Whittier repair track. Bam. It's set. Let's check our tab. There it is. Good dilly dilly. Alright, forward. Let's go. Alright. I might have pre-jacked. I don't know if that's fast enough. Let's see. We'll ride this puppy all the way back. As long as that tag grays out, we're in business. I did throw that switch, so we'll go ahead and get that sucker back forward. We're looking good on coal and agua. We'll get old Chungus Among Us back down there. God, I love a hooter. I love hooters and hooters. Alright, there we go. Oh, crap. Nope. Nope. Handbrake. 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 Jesus, I kept thinking for a minute like I was controlling that somehow. Alright, so that thing is being repaired. Let's see. So it's at 91%. It's saying 1 hour and 26 minutes. So if I skip time, it should be fully repaired. We're just going to have to leave that here and grab it the next day because ain't nobody got time for that on the NTRR. We got to get down here, get this train set back up, get out of Dodge, get this thing back down to Bryson, where it's going to mix up with the cars already sitting at Bryson, and basically set up to head on down to Andrews, which I don't think there's many. There might be a couple of sitting at Bryson. I tried to do I tried to mix it up a little bit, like, so since I had my problems with the daily, my road locomotives, you know, being in such crap condition, being repaired, I just kind of went around and tidied things up at different industries and yards and things like that. So I think a lot of places are mostly cleared out. We shall see. Skadooge. Alright, let's go ahead and tie that up. Release these. There we go. So, alright, we got to grab those Andrews, the pink tags over there. So what I'm going to do, just to make it nice and short and sweet, right now, you can work now or you can work later. I'm going to work now. So I'm going to go ahead and uncouple those, apply that handbrake. We'll go backwards. And we're going to hook up the Andrews on the back of these Andrews, and then we'll cut the train back in to the train here. So that way, when these are due to be dropped off or they're being dropped off, less movements. We're sitting yonder down here at the fueling stand, looking back the other direction. Go ahead and start hitting that independent brake. Try and use it over the train brake as much as possible, you know, especially if you're in a flat area and you know you got a big, heavy chunky boy or chunky girl with locomotive. For the most part, the Indy will get it done. Just less, you know, having to wait around for equalization for the entire train line, which, you know, once they start getting longer, it most definitely is a thing. Alright, that. No. Peel that back. There we go. Let's check them boxes. Man, you gotta check them boxes. I didn't think it'd be that bad. Alright, we got that switch thrown. Let's go ahead and hop on, chia. Here we go. But one of the things I noticed as well, if you go into that and then hit settings and then go into features, you can actually change it. So just like the wear rate for the locomotives and cars and stuff like that, the oil use rate and all that. So I'm assuming this right here, yeah, we'll just try 90% and see what that does. So, you know, I'm still shocked that these cars just showed up from the interchange pretty much dead on arrival. It's like, hey, thanks, other railroad. I appreciate that. But, you know, I'm sure that said railroad would have gotten it the same way from their interchange and so on and so forth. But it's just weird that it showed up and got that damaged that quickly. It is a predicament. It is an interesting thing. All right, so we got all them Andrewskis. Let's go ahead and release the handbrake on that puppy. Now, can we back up? Negative. Damn it. So now we got to pull back forward, and then, you know, we could have just backed up all the way. So we got to pull back forward. I might be able to pinch pry them, but that would take ages, so we ain't going to do that. We're hooked back up. Let's run down here to the end of the train. So we got to cut off basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars. So Slay, Mike, and Chiss is actually going back that way, but the way I treat Whittier down here is like it's its own little, you know, midway point or interchange, if you will, and that way the mogul will handle anything between like Thomas Valley and sometimes all the way to Bryson, but mainly Ayla. So let's get this back down there. We got to cut these off. We'll let this train get on its way, and then we got to start shoving some cars back to the sawmill, and we got to get that 280, the Connie, back from the Walker logging branch back down here to start dropping off their big old thick logs. So this train will be a little bit shorter. I think we're almost tit for tat swapping cars out here with the ones we picked up. 47 cars, 1,740 ton, 21,000 feet. And I think, what I say, 10.6. I can't even remember. Can't even remember. Always Panic at the Disco on the NTRR here. Alright, should be enough room there. We'll go ahead and throw that independent on just to slow us up a little bit. Throw the switch for the main line just to avoid any catastrophes. Now we could actually let that roll on up yonder there. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll keep the independent on about halfway, because I kind of want to let these roll up as far as they'll go, because they're going into the sawmill. So there ain't no use in them sitting way the hell back here. We'll go ahead and do that. Throw that handbrake on there. That should slow it down plenty. Alright, now this thing's on the move. 37 cars, 1,488 tons, 1,661 footages. So that's it. Next stop, next port of call for this bad girl is Bryson. Oh, wiener schnitzels. We gotta cut this one off, guys. Holy crap, that Stenzel, Washington almost got me. Hopefully don't foul up a switch there. There we go. Alright, yep, that's a good thing that one didn't go on to Bryson. Alright, so this train's going to go on to Bryson. Let's go ahead and start working the sawmill. And we'll bring that train out of Walker. And see what the train handling's like. It's not the good 280, it's like the entry level, which is still pretty decent, if I'm honest. Let's go ahead and throw this one in AI. Reverse, max speed, probably should have checked the axles, but I didn't, because I'm lazy. Let's just go down here and wait, throw the switch, and that thing will run on to Bryson, and then we can continue with our task. Major crises averted with the Santa Fe train. I've sent it on its way. It should be, yeah, it's made its way to Bryson already. So that was pretty quick. We'll have to deal with that shortly. But first and foremost, we got to get this logging operation back in business. So we're on the Walker Logging Branch across the river from Bryson. Got our trusty entry level 280 sitting here, so we'll take it down a peg. Try and relax a little bit now that the craziness with the hot box is out of the way. And we'll go ahead and start getting these together and take them down the hill. Get ready to get our first cut here. There we go. Now all that's being done and all that's being said, there's a part of me that kind of wants to start over. As ridiculous as that sounds. Maybe go in another direction with the railroad as a whole. I don't know, maybe not go to Silva this time. Maybe keep Whittier as an interchange. I would love it if the option was there for us, in a vanilla state, of course. There's all kinds of mods for Railroader now. To have Bryson as an interchange. And then maybe have like a medium-sized map that's essentially just Bryson, which has got quite a few things to do. Good sized yard in town. Through, you know, Whittier and beyond, and just kind of have it like a medium area, to where you can kind of focus more on just operations and quick runs and switching and things like that, and not so much about traversing one map or one side of the map to the other, because you got to keep in mind Silva to Andrews, that's almost, it's like 40 miles, and while that may not seem like that much, you're doing 20 miles an hour average speed. It does take a while. I think I timed it one time with the average like road train and having to get helpers on and stuff like that, and it took numerous hours, so it took quite a long time. All right, let's get cut number 2. So yeah, I'm thinking about maybe starting over now that things have changed in the game. And it's in a totally different place than where it was, and you had to worry about passenger stuff, which, you know, I wasn't too crazy about to begin with. It was nice having the old, you know, coaches and things like that. But before, you had to worry about passenger trains. Now, not so much. I think it's now, if it's just ran once every couple days, you know, you're golden. But other than that, I don't really think it's a necessity anymore. All right, we got number 5 hooked up and ready to book it. So we got 14 cars. That's us included, of course. 562 tonnages. Almost 600 feet long. And this little puppy right here. And we'll take this thing down the road. It is quite scenic back here. I love the logging branches now more than I did before. I thought Connolly was cool. That's a very pretty area in itself. But back here, it's a whole different animal. You got a couple of nice big tall trestles. You got a lot of areas to fill up with your product, your wood, your hardwoods. And that grade coming out of here is intense. I can't imagine if it were the other way around, like if your grade was up headed back to Bryson, because when you got one of these trains full of you know, hardwoods, it might get a little spicy. I mean, even now it might get a little spicy with brakes. I've had numerous issues with trains and brakes and or lack thereof with braking force and just running out of control numerous times. So we are coasting now. Let's see what that is. That's 2.8 down right there. Pretty good little curve here as well, so let's slow her down just a skosh. We'll try and get away with the independent here. It's not working much. We're getting right on the speed that I don't want to be on. The flanges are singing. Kind of remind me of the screaming little wood tree plant things from Harry Potter. when you like pulled them up out of their pots and they screamed. That's how you know you're in trouble. I kind of correlate that somehow in a very weird manner to the singing flanges in Railroader. Yes, I don't know. That's just how my mind works. Here's one of first two ginormous trestles up over that creek. And then there is the line that we're going to be taking back down to Bryson. So it's leveling out some. Okay, now it's back 2%. And then back out. And then it's back level right here. We still need to slow down. It's still a little bit too speedy through here. And now you may be thinking too, well, why in the hell are you doing this place if you've got Connolly logging branch that you can fill up with? Well, I could, and it would be right there near the sawmill. Indeed, matter of fact. But I just wanted to spice it up a little bit, make it an extra run. I don't know, just get jiggy with it a bit, I guess. I don't know. Just wanted to do something different. I thought that this area kind of wasn't super necessary for a long time. I felt like it's one of those areas that's just, you know, because you got Connolly, you got Barker's for Silva, you got Graham County for Andrews and Snowbird Paper, that it was almost just completely pointless having this down here. Now, what would make this less pointless is if there was something in Bryson that needed this, because I mean it's, you know, it's right damn there, and then Andrews Hardwoods is right there, so it would be nice if there was some sort of drop off for Andrews, right, the furniture making place, because you would think they would take a raw product such as this, right? So it'd be nice if the devs would somehow add that in to be able to take a raw product, because there's plenty of lines sitting there as well. This is its own line, obviously. It's just not in the game. You know, but that's plenty of room to drop cars off like this. And then you've got your two, you know, switch tracks there for the industry. So I think that, you know, could be used. That would be nice. Let's see. Let's get up here on the edge of the train. It is very curvy. Here's the same crick, different trestle. Alright, let's get in our loc. We're going to have to watch it on this. You can already see the cars leaning. We're doing 25 mile an hour. We'll go ahead and toss the brake on. It's a bit spicy back in here, guys. So those of you that have not run back in here and you're looking for something extra to do, I don't know why I never really looked back in here. This is a very cool area. Like I said, I think it's just kind of pointless, you know, to where the places that need it are, you know. Oh god, we're doing 30. We need to slow down a lot more. So yeah, this locomotive here is kind of true to my thought process and thinking that maybe this thing is not heavy enough and doesn't quite have the braking power. Oh dear lord, that we needed. So maybe you need to handle less cars at one time. I guess mental note just for myself. I love this view over the ridge as well. Ayla is actually back that way. There's the river there. Bryson is going to be just around the bend up here. I think it kind of levels out a little bit right here. Alright, we'll release for a second here. Let's run through and hop out. We'll go get on the front. Now, you can't ride these skelly cars, technically. But we'll try and hop on one here. If it doesn't kill us anyway. And jump! There we go. Sometimes you like slide off. It's weird. Alright, so that right there is a 3.1% downgrade. So that is not very nice. That is not very cool. There's the river over here, and that's the main line, of course, and then Bryson is back behind us that way, and there's the bridge we'll be crossing momentarily. But yeah, if they would add the necessity to use this stuff at Appalachian Hardwood, that would be very based, matter of fact. Let's take a peek at it real quick. Where's Appalachian Hardwoods at? Where are they at? There we go. Gear 5 performance. Yeah, so they don't take wood. It's interesting that they don't. I wonder if, you know, the dev Adam initially thought to maybe have them take raw product and then, But as of right now, like, I'm thinking with this train and these operations, do I just leave it here at Bryson? And then the train that goes, you know, the trains that go from Silva and Andrews to Bryson and then back from where they came, just pick these up and kind of add it into the mix and then drop them off at the yard at Whittier. So we're basically down the hill now, kind of flat, terra firma, flat earthing it down here. Gonna cross over the river, and then Bryson's just around there on the left. And I think for this go around, just so we get the sawmill up and running, that we will indeed have this train go back to Whittier and drop these off today, because we got to get that production started. There we go. We'll go ahead and hop off and eyeball that switch. Go ahead and peel off that air. Now what I could do in the meantime, while this thing is making its way back to Whittier, of course, is start switching out Whittier and get those cars set up at the lumber mill. There we go. Independent brake. Alright, goodbye Walker Branch. Till we meet again. Go ahead and hop on this bad boy. We'll set her up to AI, orders, road, reverse, max speed. Of course, it'll follow track speed. There we go. And we'll get back down to Whittier. Back in the Moog at Whittier, and man, it's thundering like hell. Apologies if that's caught on the mic. I've got a noise gate, but it's pretty close, and I'm expecting the power to probably go out any minute here. So we got to switch these cars out for the sawmill. So let's go ahead and cut these cars. And I believe there's one on the end that is Slay, Micah, and Shizzy. All right, now I completely forgot where these cars go, and it's kind of one of the issue areas with an industry on this map, unless you're into it, kind of like Ayla. I hate Ayla with a passion. I'm not crazy about ladder track stuff, especially when it's real small. I mean, if I'm going up the side of a big ass mountain or something, like some old school B&O operations or something, yeah, okay. But small little tiny industries, no. So anyway, we got to figure out the orientation on how to get these cars down there. So let's see, we probably need to get on the back of them and pull them in would be the easiest bet. So that being said, let's go ahead and do just that. I guess we can keep that that car on the very back that's not going down there and just leave it on. Kind of have it as like a buffer car or something in between us. Go ahead and throw that, throw the reverser. And we will go back there and pick up these cars now. Now, I ideally have no clue how the sawmill is going to work, because when I was initially doing it with the start of my game save, my in-game railroader career, I never went higher than tier 1 or 2. I don't think. It was just a couple of cars per day, and then I would just drop off as much you know, wood as possible, essentially. I don't really remember. It feels like it's been so damn long, even though it really hasn't. It's been more than a year now, right? Since Railroader, it's been a long time. And it's come a long way. I mean, you can't say that for a lot of train sims. I feel like there's a lot of train sims that have kind of gone backwards and then maybe been very mid and then maybe done some good updates and then kind of gone down again. It's just been all over the place. Where Railroader, it's kind of been a steady increase, which isn't too shabby. It's nice that they're adding bits and bobs to the game such as this, especially in the fact that they are options, because you'll always see the people that are like, oh, I don't want to oil, I don't want to have to worry about wear and tear. Well, then just turn it off. It's that effing simple. You know, but people will still complain nonetheless, because, well, humans are gonna human. Let's go ahead and release this handbrake. Oh, it's at the very end. We'll leave the brakes off. I don't think we need them. I also don't think this whole damn consist is going to fit back in that ladder track, but we will find out here momentarily. There we go. Release that. Forwards. Release the hounds. Work, little Mogi. Yes. I love that Moog. I don't know why. G25, baby. All day, every day. Oh, son of a... Alright. I forgot that. Holy sh... I bet you guys heard that one. I forgot this thing was down here. So we need to, let's start trying to kick it out the way here. I've been having some issues with this. It's kind of good that we're looking at this now. So before, I used to be able to just get up on a car and shift R, shift R, shift R, shift R, shift R like I'm doing right now. And it would start moving. But it's not doing that. So let's make sure it is. It's bled. The brake is off. So you actually don't do that now. Now you just look at it from afar and then shift R. It's kind of weird and kind of counterintuitive, if I'm honest. Before, you would just kind of body yourself up against the car and push it. You know, like you were, say, like a car's dead on the side of the road and you're trying to help shove it into a parking lot. That kind of deal. But from this, it's a bit more of a pain in the ass because you got to bounce back and push and bounce back and push. Okay, those cars are coming quite quick. Come on, keep pushing, dang it. Keep pushing. Yeah, I don't know why it's like this now, but it is. I think we'll just use the train to push that. All right, how many cars we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got 10, 9 of them are going. Is that enough room, guys? It looks like it's just on the edge. But it shouldn't be a major issue because I can just cut half of them off on the ladder down into that little stub back there. So, because there's only, luckily there's only like 2 or 3 spots where you know, spot cars back in there. So we're just going to give this sucker a good little shove here. There we go. Boom. Big a boom. We got to run all the way down here. But yeah, the things they're adding are pretty cool. You know, updating sounds and things like that. I still very much wish things would be updated in the name of visualization and graphics. You know, I was going back and looking at, I had an album of when I started playing the game and pictures of the game back when it came out in the first opening months. The game looked so much better than it does now. 100 times better. I mean, now you've got this draw distance crap. Level of detail is almost non-existent. You know, I get it for performance reasons for potatoes, but what about the not so potatoes or the mid potato crowd? You know, I think I fall in the mid potato crowd personally. You know, I want some more options. I want the game to look good again. We also need some new assets. You know, we need some deer on the side, or maybe some cattle, you know, up in some of these areas and things like that, just to spice it up. And then, of course, you know, actual new buildings and railroad type things as well, and industry type things would go a long way for this map. You know, I wish they would kind of focus on that. I know they got a whole lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and who knows what the hell else they've got in store for us as of late, but I want to start seeing these towns fleshed out a little bit more. I want to start seeing a little bit of messiness on the wayside and things like that. You know, just not so much trash, but like some scrap metal here and there and things like that. Because let's be honest, back in these days, it weren't near as scummy as it was in like the 80s onwards. You know, so you wouldn't see too much trash and things like that. But, you know, we definitely need some more assets in the game to be kind of fleshed out a bit more visually. That would be very, very nice. I cannot wait for that. It's got some great bones, and it has from the very beginning. I know this game ain't a lot of people's cup of tea, and that's fine too, but this is something that I was always personally looking for, you know. I don't care so much about, I need 100% prototypical Steam operation. You know, I don't need that shit. I don't want to sit in the cab of this engine and try and do all this kind of stuff with industries and spotting cars and whatnot and switching, you know, and having to worry about all these different valves and cocks and other things like that. You know, operate and train, especially if you're doing stuff solo. So the fact that it's kind of, I don't want to say dumbed down, but taken down a notch, because you know that certain group who I'm talking about, I'm sure many of you know, that think that that's what any railroad type game should be about. You know, this is not that game, and it never will be that game. There's supposed to be another game in the future that will be that game, but it basically looks like Railroads Online 2.0. If that thing ever even comes out, I'm not interested in that other game in the least, if I'm completely honest. I want to do railroad stuff. I don't want to sit in it and like twist virtual knobs and I'm not using enough water. I'm using too much coal. You know, it's just like a go download the Disney Railroad thing, you know, if you want to do something like that. But anyway, enough ranting about stupidity. Stupidity, ranting about stupidity. All right, so we're going to have to cut some of these up here. Let's go ahead and we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do it right now. So we'll leave them out there. Apply that handbrake. Go ahead and reverse. And we got to figure out where these go. But it's, you know, at the same time with that argument, and just to continue the rant, just touch on it a little bit. Just a gentle touch. You know, they're adding things like oiling and greasing. And so you've got people saying like, why are you adding oil and greasing and wear, but not steam chest physics? You know, just shit like that. It's still more about a railroad and maintaining a railroad and not so much the operation of a steam engine itself, because that is just a whole other thing when it comes to like physics and how video games work and things like that. Whereas this, it's, you know, I don't want to say it's bare bones, but it's, you know, they got this game somewhere. That's for damn sure. A lot of people like it. I mean, I don't think it's ever been review bombed at all on Steam. It's just a solid little game to mess around with if you want to do railroad type stuff and not pretend you're a steam engine engineer. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm into personally. I'm sure a lot of other people are as well. Obviously the game is doing so well, so I just hate seeing comments in certain areas and certain discords and reddits and things like that where people are like, oh, it doesn't have accurate steam physics and blah blah blah, because it never said it was trying to. Like that's my whole point. So yeah, enough crying about that. We got to spot these two here, SO1 and SO2. There might be a couple over there that are SO as well, so I guess we'll shove these back as far as they'll go. So we'll get down here and ride to the bumper after we get murdered by the axle. There we go. How far down does that go, actually? Should go all the way down, shouldn't it? Go ahead and throw the reverser in reverse. So yeah, I'm all about, you know, the devs keeping it with the operational aspect of things. I do wish the game visually looked a bit better. I'm tired of getting, you know, forced kind of sneaky patches that make, you know, distance rendering and shadows and things like that less and less, and just kind of make the game look more and more not great. You know, but it still is early access. They're still trying to get it in a good space overall. And then who knows? I've heard weird noise. I didn't like that. Almost gave me a stroke. Jesus. You know, I've heard stuff about it switching to other game engines. Who knows if any of that's true? Because it's in Unity, obviously, but I've heard stuff about it being switched to the Unreal Engine and things like that. And you know, it's all hearsay. Who knows if it's legit or not? I do not know. I don't really care that much to sit in little drama circles as such. I do have other things going on in life besides pixel trains. What? Why do I hear a train? Oh my God, that scared the hell out of me. That's the Connie. Connie coming. Okay, that scared the hell out of me, guys. I've totally forgot something was coming. That reminds me, I gotta tend to that passenger train as well, sitting back in Silva. So anyway, yeah, enough bitching. Let's get back to the actual railroad itself. All right, we got the switches thrown. These two are going down there. We're gonna kick these bad boys. All right, let's see. Oh, I left the throttle cracked open. Accurate simulation. Yeah, that's not me, guys. Sorry. Alright, we'll get it up about 10 miles an hour. Cut it. Boom. Independent. We'll go ahead and reverse that train again. Just a skosh-magosh. Get past that switch there. Alright, we'll let them ride. I don't know if there's an actual little like incline or anything back in there, so that might be an issue. Okay, so we got the wood, we'll just call it the wood train. Very accurate and detailed description. We're gonna pull these two logons right up to the side of the sawmillage. Apply, release. Apply, release. Alright, keep on scooching. We got to get them all the way down. Because I don't know... It's quite a few cars. I don't know if all that's going to fit. We'll see. We will see. Apply, release. Nope, okay. I done went too far. Alright. So the sawmill has got their first cut of cars. Alright, let's go ahead and click that. Let's go pick up our other cars here. With our bright blue Conrail-esque low boy. Alright, so where art thou being spotteth? Alright, plenty of room for those. Plenty of room. And those actually go over there as well. So the SO and the SO2, those can spot. Let's see. So we got two cars over there now. Let's see. I'm going to eyeball it. 2, 4, 6. I'm going to say about 7 or 8, depending on car size. There should be plenty. So it'll be interesting to see when I get this all the way up to tier 5, if you're actually going to have to spot cars elsewhere, not on... Okay, that is a little uphill section right there because the train keeps slowing down. Alright, Ian. Alright, we got that. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, let's go ahead and ride this in backwards. We should have plenty of room here, I hope. There we go. Yeah, that is most definitely downhill. Forgot about that. Holy crap. Oh, you still got that one car sitting down there in the way. I mean, I guess I can throw that on the back of the Connie sitting down there. Oh man, we got a handbrake on somewheres. Toot! Big toot. Nope. It's this one right here. You evil, evil boxcar, you. There we go. Okay. Now this might be problematic. I don't know if we'll have enough room here. It might be just enough. Be a good way to gauge what you can actually bring back in here. I know there's been tons of mods of people expanding these places, but... And I get it's for ease, and I get their mods, so you can run them or you don't run them. It's totally up to you. But when it comes to stuff like that, I can't force myself personally to use that stuff, because for starters, this is a small kind of backwater area. Still is to this day, although the railroad doesn't really exist anymore. It's too many damn tracks in such a barren area, if you know what I mean. So I feel like, I don't know, especially with the state of the map and how it looks, and not a whole lot of assets as far as buildings and, what you would call clutter and things like that. The more tracks you have, I feel like the worse it looks. Meanwhile, there have been some pretty cool mods I've seen where, you've got like a balloon loop or throw a Y in somewhere, so it's just easier overall, to run a railroad and get things done quicker than they normally would. Alright, that should easily spot all 5 of those cars. Easily. Easily. Oh god, no! Yep, we hit the bumper. We did just do that, as a matter of fact. Alright, let's get in this sucker. That is done. We made $320 plus 20 for timely delivery. Alright, we'll get in this bad boy. Let's get rid of this fusee. Let's throw our switch. Let's hop on broad. There we go. Get her working. Now, I don't know how many cars that will hold. Man, do some of you guys remember this area right here and how there used to be trees on the river right there? It looks so nice. I feel like they nerfed way too many trees, trying to save performance out on old crusty spuds. But it is what it is. But man, this game used to look so much better. It's hard, once you knew how something was, and it was totally fine in the state, and then it's been degraded. It's big Sag. It's big old hairy Sag. All right, we'll throw this car on the back. Shouldn't be a big deal. And we'll shove all them in. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to consume them. I don't really recall. We'll go ahead and tie that on. Release that handbrake. Alright, let's get back there and shove the wood into the water. Alright, let's go shove these down by the river, and then we'll go check on the lowly old rail car back there being repaired. Oh, dear God. Hip, hip. There we go. Alright, there we go. But yeah, I want to see some new vegetation as well. Some rhododendron or mountain laurel. Some oaks, some different types of evergreen trees. It's funny being up in this area. In real life, you get up into the higher elevations where some of these evergreen trees are, and that's why they're called evergreen trees, because they essentially don't season like most trees. But you'll see on the side of holy crap. You'll see on the side of a couple of mountains where Oh man, we got one car. We got one errant car. Can we move any more? Anyway, you'll see on the very top of a mountain at like 4,000 or 5,000 feet, a couple of evergreen trees sticking out amongst all these other dead trees, and it's just an interesting thing. So it'd be cool to see that, because that's very much, true to the area, realistically, and it very much fit in game. Oh, stroke noise. Okay, we got them all fit, boys and girls. Ooh, look at there. Just one damn axle. All right, let's throw that on. Holy crap. Okay, so that's all you can fit there. And so you're not actually going to get paid for these because, what is it called, captive or something like that. So as soon as they start needing them, they'll start crapping them into the pond there. So we got that stuck. We are getting stuff on the move. Guys, let's throw that switch back. But yeah, back to the evergreen. You'll see like one or two sticking out in a sea of dead trees, and it's just neat to see because you're like, hey, that's a Christmas tree, which it essentially is. And seasons, it'd be neat to see seasons, especially fall, because God, there's nothing, prettier than this area in fall time that I've seen anyway. I'm sure there is across the world naturally, but yeah, seasons, some better rain, some better lighting, things like that, because it's just kind of very mid right now visually. Condition 100%. This thing is ready to go. So them boys did fix that darn thing pretty darn quick. But as of right now, to keep it short and hopefully not get electrocuted or have my personal computer equipment damaged from the thunderstorm, I'm going to cut it right here. And then we will come back next time and figure out what the hell we're going to do. From Bryson onward, we got to work the coal mine, we got to work the copper mines, and we got to no, I take that back. We got to work Andrews. So we'll come back next time, and we're going to be working Andrews. We got some switching to do, and we got to clear that interchange out. But as of right now, that is it, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully see you next time. Take care. Bye.